everyone, my name is Gayathri and I am a second year biotech major here at UC Davis. Right now we are in the middle of April and the date to pick a college to attend is coming up in just a few weeks. If you are blessed enough to get multiple acceptances, sometimes it can be hard to narrow down which college you should actually attend. I thought I could throw together a quick video going over all the criteria you should or should not consider when enrolling at a school. This video should be used as a guide to think about why your goals and your priorities align with a particular college. Keep in mind, this is not going to be an exhaustive list of every factor and every criteria you should consider when attending a school, but I will definitely be going over the 5 criteria you absolutely must think about and the 3 criteria you should not ever consider when picking a school. So I do hope that this video will be applicable to anyone who watches. And with that all in mind, let's get started. By the way, I feel like this is obvious in most of my videos, but I definitely look at notes. Like, I take notes ahead of time of everything I'm gonna say in my video and I keep it in a document. So I will be referring to it every now and then when I'm about to make some points. So there are 5 factors I'm gonna go over that you should absolutely consider before picking a college to enroll at. The first one that I have on here is your major of choice. In this category, I'm going to be lumping up your academic goals as well as internships and various opportunities the school offers. The main reason you're going to college is to get a higher education that hopefully can land you a good job down the road. In order to best equip yourself for the career you want, you need to select a school that is well known for your study of interest. Picking a school that has a good department for your major of interest means you're going to get good advising, you're going to be taking classes with professors who are very well versed in that field and are giving you relevant education, and then finally, you're going to be provided with more internships and opportunities related to what you're interested in. For example, UC Davis is a great school if you're interested in pre-health. We have an advising department that hosts events where they invite admissions officers from different professional schools and you can talk to them. We have student-run clinics here, and we even have this online system called the HRI system where, kind of like how you register for classes, you can register to job shadow at a particular clinical facility. As a biotech major, there are not many schools that offer biotech as a bachelor's degree, and Davis has done a pretty great job with the department. We have professors who, when they teach the intro to biotech classes, they really help prepare you when it comes to how to write a good resume, how to apply for certain internships. Nearly every day, I get an email from the biotech department saying, hey, this seed company is having an internship over the summer. This company here is looking for a part-time intern. This company here is looking for a research assistant. The good thing about going to a school where you have a very active department in your major of interest, you don't have to feel completely responsible for hunting down certain opportunities. Sometimes you're just notified of them, and your only job is to take that opportunity, apply for it, and hope you get it. Here's another example. Let's say you are interested in marine biology. UC Davis may not be a good school to look at because we're not near any beaches. Whereas if you think about UC San Diego or Santa Barbara, these are great schools that have a very well-developed marine biology department. For people who don't know what to study, not to worry. Okay, basically what that means is you're in a state where you need to explore your options. So what does that mean? You should pick a school that is flexible with you taking a diverse set of classes, and a school that's flexible with you changing majors if you want to change majors. This whole step of figuring out what you want to study and what school you want to go to, it requires a lot of research on your end. You need to take time to assess each school you got accepted to and look at what departments they have. If you already know your major of interest, you can look into how well developed is each school for this major. I always would recommend hopping on Reddit or College Confidential, any online forums where you get to connect with other students and ask them what their experiences are. You can ask other students about what their experiences were, how they found certain internships, what is expected of them when they attend the school. Overall, with this step, you do need to understand the main purpose of you going to college is to get a good education and to hopefully get into the career you so desire. It's not going to be easy having to like really delve deep into each school and how good their departments are, but I would say it's absolutely necessary. The next factor you should absolutely consider before picking a school to attend would be the location of the school. For this category, people have differing viewpoints. For some people, they definitely want to move away from their hometown, move far away, meet brand new people, experience a whole new lifestyle. And then there are other people who want to stick close to home, stick close to their family, stick to what is more familiar with them. Within this location category, you need to think about what the city offers. Is it more of an active town or a quiet town? You need to think about how safe it is living here. And I would say the most important part, thinking about travel plans, right? So if you want to go to a college that's far away, you're gonna have to think about getting airplane tickets, think about arranging Ubers, think about where you're actually gonna stay in that town. During school breaks, how are you going to, arrange plans for that? What I liked about Davis when thinking about the city is that it was very friendly and cozy, and we're kind of in our own little bubble out here. To me, it was just a very warm, welcoming environment. I mentioned this in my previous video if you didn't check it out, but I live less than an hour away from home, so I don't have to think too hard about, do I have to buy a plane ticket for this? Am I gonna call an Uber for this? Arranging the money to set aside for these travel plans. Like every weekend I could go home if I wanted to. School breaks, I don't have to think too much. I can just call my parents and be like, hey, can you pick me up this Friday night? And also, in case anything happens to me here, in case there's an emergency, I don't have to worry about like fending for myself 110% because, my family is not too far away. When looking into the location of the school, the cost of living in that town also matters. And this leads perfectly into my third criteria, which is price. This is probably one of the most important things to think about when attending schools. This can be a huge make it or break it factor for people when picking one school to another. The cost of actually attending a school depends on tuition, books, housing and meal plans, and any extra expenditures. So like, grocery shopping or hanging out with friends, etc., etc. Some of these costs are very dependent on you, and others of them are dependent on the school. Usually, attending a public university is much cheaper than attending a private university. Attending a school that's out of state is more expensive than attending a school that's in state. A huge proponent to estimating how much you'll have to spend at a school depends on the financial aid you received. So there are 3 ways that you can earn money for college, right? Like you could get loans, you get grants, or you could get scholarships. Grants and scholarships are basically free money, right? Like it's either the money that the government is giving you or it's money that you probably had to apply to various organizations and they're offering to give you money. Loans, on the other hand, is just the government giving you money to borrow when you're in the middle of college, and then once you graduate and get a job, you need to start paying that money back. And most of the time, you're gonna have to end up paying back more than what you receive from the government just because of interest. I know in this moment, money doesn't seem to be directly impacting us, but we're not going to see the effects of this until after we graduate and we're expected to start earning our own money. And honestly, for a lot of us, it's hard to predict how much can we actually afford and how much can we end up paying back. So I would say for this step, when thinking about price, please take the advice of your parents, your guardians, the financial aid office. If there is someone in your life who's going to be paying for a college education, this is definitely a step where you have to talk to them and ask them, what can we actually afford? What do you need me to do? If you are someone who's responsible for paying for your own college education, you can also consider working in college, thinking about part-time jobs. And like I said previously, always get the advice of your financial aid office at whatever schools you're interested in. Ask them, how much do certain things cost? What is the estimates of attending the school, etc., etc. The fourth point that is essential to think about before picking a school to attend is the student atmosphere. How friendly are your classmates? How competitive are your classmates? Is the student environment more active or more low-key? You need to remember that this is the school you're going to be attending for the next 4 years, or if you're a transfer student, the next 2 years. So you want to make sure that you feel like you belong within the student community. You feel like, this is my home. I don't like to say that stereotypes are true, but sometimes for colleges, the stereotypes can be true, okay? Like when people said that UC Davis is a bit quiet and there's not much to do, more or less that's true. Like campus is pretty dead if you're, walking around campus on a Saturday or Sunday. If some schools are known for being party schools, they usually tend to be party schools, stuff like that. Like the reason why I picked Davis is because it is, I've said this so many times, but yes, it is friendly, collaborative, and I wouldn't say there's as heated competition here as there is in other schools. For me, it was super important that I didn't go to an insanely competitive school because I knew it would be 10 times more difficult to get necessary research opportunities or get into certain extracurriculars. One thing that shocked me about college is if you want to get involved in a club, you have to apply. And for a lot of these clubs, they have a very tough screening process, and sometimes you have to come in for interviews, and it can be pretty intense. So I knew if I went to a school where every student was super hardcore and super competitive about getting what they want, it would be near impossible for me to be involved in the extracurriculars I'm in now. I'm not trying to sound like, you should take the easy way out or anything, because if there is a school where you feel like, yes, I want to be in this competitive environment, I want to be driven hard, I want to be constantly being pressured to do better, then absolutely go for the schools like that. But I knew for me, it's just one less thing I have to worry about. At the end, make sure you pick a school where you vibe with the community. The best way to find this out is, again, going on Reddit, going on College Confidential, asking people in your life who have attended certain colleges, kind of ask them how the vibe of the community is. And yeah, I guess you can assess from there whether you think you'd fit. The final criteria you should absolutely consider before picking a school would be the education style. In this category, I'll split it up into 2 parts, and that is the size of the class and the academic terms. When we're talking about size of class, we're talking about, for one teacher, how many students are there. Usually at huge public universities, you're going to have 200 plus people lecture halls. So there's going to be 200 plus people attending lectures, and then about once a week, you're going to have a discussion section where one teaching assistant will be responsible for 20 students. This is different than liberal arts colleges or community colleges where they're more high school style, where you have one teacher and you have 20 students, and this teacher is only responsible for that small class. Usually at huge public universities, the professor's job is to just give you all of the content for a class, and it's your job to go back, practice, study, and ask any questions if you have any questions. I think one huge disadvantage to being in that sort of learning environment is it's not as easy to get a close connection with the professor. Whereas if you're in a more smaller setting, like in community college or liberal arts colleges, that teacher will know you a lot better because they see you more frequently among a smaller class size. The size of class can also affect how easy or difficult it is to make new friends. In public universities like UC Davis, it is so easy to meet new people. And especially being on the quarter system here, you are going to be getting a new set of classes 3 times a year. So you're going to be meeting tons of new people throughout your time. But public universities, for a fact, you really have to take the time to text your friends and ask them, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to meet up at this time? It's not like high school where you just see the same person every day in your classes. And I feel like in smaller class sizes, like a liberal arts and community colleges, it's because it's just a smaller campus, or I should say smaller set of students, you have a higher chance of running into the same people. So it's easier for you to just maintain that connection than going to a public university where you're literally going to be seeing hundreds of new people every day. Now, when it comes to academic term, what do I mean by that? Basically, does your school operate on a semester system or on a quarter system or a trimester system? This is important because it can affect how frequently you have exams. It can affect how much lecture content you learn sometimes. It can affect what kind of classes you can take even. Being on the quarter system here at UC Davis, the one benefit we have is you get a chance to take a bunch of new classes. And let's say you have a really bad professor one quarter, within 10 weeks you'll be done with that professor and you have a good chance of moving on to a new one, probably one that's better for you. I think it's nice because you do get a chance to take more of a diverse curriculum and get a chance to meet new people, meet new professors. The biggest downside, you literally have a midterm every 3 weeks. It can be very difficult to stay on top of your work because on a quarter system, there is no room for you to procrastinate. In the semester system, it's a 16-week academic term. This is what majority of colleges operate on. I believe you have about 3 midterms a semester. So honestly, for assessing academic term, it requires more reflection on your part, thinking about what's important to me when I'm learning. Is there certain criteria that have to be met for me in order to perform well academically? In my case, I knew I could be adaptable enough to the quarter system. Like, I didn't worry too much about whether I would have enough time or not. But for some people, having those 16 weeks that are less rushed is super essential. So definitely you need to take that into account. Okay, so I just went over the 5 criteria you absolutely should consider before picking a school. Now here are 3 criteria that you should never think about before picking a school to attend. Number 1 is going to be rank. So according to US News, I wrote this stuff on here. According to US News, they make their rankings based on graduation rate, retention rate, Pell Grant graduation rate, graduate debt accumulation, faculty resources, which includes faculty compensation and class size, financial resources, expert opinion, which is basically they assess the academic reputation of the school, class standing, alumni giving, and standardized test scores. I'm probably going to link the website somewhere in this video, and you can go check it out yourself, but they do have varying percentages for how much each category is truly factoring into rank. What I'm trying to drive at here is that none of these categories are telling you how a school directly helps you achieve success. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter what the rank of a school is. It matters, do you take advantage of the opportunities given to you? Yes, UC Berkeley, they have Nobel Prize winning professors. But what's the point of you attending that school if you're not going to even go to lecture? The thing is, you can't just expect to attend a school because it has a really good rank and then think that, okay, yeah, my life is set from here on out. You need to basically fight for the opportunities you think you deserve, and you need to go out of your way and search for them. There are Yale students who are working as baristas, and there are community college students who are earning 6 figures. Okay, so the name brand of the school, people always say that for the first job you get, the name of the school can matter, but after that, it's completely based on your own performance. And even then, there's no point in you going to a school just because they have a good rank if you're miserable there. And if you know, like, you are not in the best environment to help you thrive. This is why the previous 5 criteria I went through are crucial, because they go over, what are my academic goals and what kind of environment do I need to be in so that I can feel comfortable enough to go out and get involved. Second criteria you should absolutely not consider before picking a school is relationships and friendships from high school. Guys, the last thing you ever want to do is attend a college just because your best friends are going there or because your boyfriend or girlfriend are going there. College is not about trying to stick to the same people you've known for like 6-7 years. It's the chance for you to move on from your childhood and change and transform from meeting new people and jumping into new opportunities. You and your bestie or partner are not going to have the same interests or same goals. And when it comes to life, there's always going to be one person that sticks by your side, and that's yourself. So it's important that you give priority to what do I want to study? What do I want out of my career? And would it be better if I go to a different school than my own friend? College can be scary, college can be new, but you have to understand that this is what's best for you. This doesn't mean that you have to completely ditch your high school friends and never speak to them again, but you need to give yourself the room to change from what you have been used to for so long. I went to high school in the Midwest and I moved out all the way to California for college. No one from my high school goes to UC Davis, but I'm unbelievably happy that I got to meet new people, explore new opportunities, and basically become a better version of myself. I love my high school friends, but I don't think I would have had this same experience if I decided to go to the same school as all of them, stick with the same people, and basically be doing the exact same things I did in high school. Third thing that you should never consider when picking a school to attend, and that's what your parents think. Sometimes family pressure can have a huge influence in what school to attend. Some parents want their kids attending their alumni school, and other parents want their kid attending a super prestigious school just for, namesake. Whenever your parents do tell you, like, this is where I want you to go, you need to step back and think to yourself, why is it actually that they want me to go here? I'm not trying to start a fight, but if we're gonna be real, some parents do want to live vicariously through their kids. So they'll think that, the glamour and the prestige of a college is the top priority. I mean, if you think about it from a parent's perspective, they will get a lot of pride if they go to their friends and say, like, hey, yeah, my son goes to Harvard, my daughter goes to Stanford. It's a huge moment for a parent to be proud of. But then you need to think to yourself, I'm the one who's going to be living at this school. I'm the one who's going to be going to classes, cracking open the books, studying for exams, and praying to God every day that I pass this exam. So you're the one who's going to be going through all the hard stuff, so you want to make sure you put yourself in the right environment. Of course, please consider what your parents have to say when it comes to finances or when it comes to certain things that aren't under your control. But when it comes to the things that you are actually getting involved in, like your actual education, internship opportunities, extracurricular opportunities, this is something that, you need to prioritize your own opinion. As we wrap up this video, I can summarize all of these points into 2 words: right fit. At the end of the day, you need to pick a school that best fits your purpose, your desires, and the practical things. No matter where you end up attending, always know that you have full power in how you play your cards. If you take advantage of everything that's been offered to you, there's no reason why you can't achieve everything you want. Congratulations on getting through high school. Congratulations on all of your college acceptances. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow the Her Campus at UCD Instagram. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.